Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another social media manager Q&A. Just in case you're new here, my name is Latasha. I am a full-time freelancer. I do social media management and marketing and content creation and things like that. So welcome. Make sure to subscribe if you like this video and like to hear from other freelancers and social media managers. So let's just hop into the questions I asked on my Instagram stories this time. First question, what to put on a proposal for a client? Most don't like to hear bad things about their page. Okay, so yes, I definitely agree that most people don't really like to hear bad things about their businesses and their business practice. I actually just got an email a few days ago, weeks ago, I don't know, it was a while ago, and they were trying to sell me YouTube consulting services, I think. I don't really know, it wasn't very clear, but the subject line was something really terrible. It was like, your channel sucks or something. It was something really negative, and it was like, oh yeah, do you know that you could get so many more viewers if you did this and blah, blah, blah. And it came off as really negative, and yeah, that doesn't work, okay? Like, I was mad. I was like, I don't want to work with somebody who's negative like that. If they would have approached me in a way that was gentler, kinder, that complimented me and the hard work that I've done and let me know that what they can do is help boost it up a little bit and amplify it a bit by just doing a few things, I might actually have a conversation with them, right? So it's definitely all about the approach. And just to clarify, I don't send through a proposal until we've already had a discussion 9 times out of 10. So usually what they do is they maybe reach out to me through email or through social media. I'll send them a link to my discovery call so they can book a discovery call using Acuity scheduling. They actually answer a little intake form from there. They talk about what what problems they're having, what solutions they're looking for, what their budget is, and then we hop on a call together. After we've talked on a 15 or 30-minute call, I type up a proposal and send that over to them. Now, if you're talking more about like a cold email, like a pitch email, trying to get them on a call, I think that might be more of what you're talking about, but just wanted to clarify. So for a cold email, I would say something like, I love your store, it is so beautiful, or I love your restaurant, or I just ate at your restaurant, or, talk about why you are the right person for them. Because yeah, if I owned a restaurant or I owned a store and some random who'd never shopped with me, doesn't care about me, wanted to do my marketing, I probably would ignore them. So compliment them, talk about the things that you do know about them, and then maybe offer an opportunity area. What I normally say is, I'd love to learn more about what you're planning for your marketing efforts in 2020. Do you want to get together for coffee? Or here's a link to my calendar if you want to put 15 minutes on my calendar just to chat. I have some ideas that might help generate more leads for you in the new year. I keep it kind of vague like that. Like, I have some ideas, or I have some things that might help you, versus saying, this is what sucks, here's how I can help you. I just sort of let them know that I have some things that can help, or that I'm willing to brainstorm with them on new ideas, if that makes sense, versus just calling out every bad thing that they're doing. Now, like I said, with the actual proposal that I send over after a call, that is more detailed, and that actually includes everything that I'm going to do for them. So I'll say, we're going to manage your social media 5 times a week or whatever, post for you 5 times a week. We're going to fix your SEO on your blog post, whatever it is that I'm going to do for them. So I really do outline every service, but I think that's something a little bit different. How many hours a day does one work as a social media manager? Honestly, you could probably work 1 hour, you could work 50 hours. Well, there's not 50 hours in a day. That was stupid. You could probably work like 20 or 18. I don't know. It really depends on how many clients you're taking on. It depends on if you're working full-time or if you're working freelance. It depends on how fast you are. For me personally, it's hard for me because I do a lot of different things. So full transparency, social media management isn't the only thing I do. Obviously, I do YouTube, which is part of my income and a part of my business. I do other things like video editing and video work and podcast editing. I do speaking, I do coaching. So I do a little bit of different things. But I would say, as far as like my dedicated social media management, like I am planning social media, scheduling social media, honestly, I probably only work a couple hours a day on that. And I have a handful of clients. So I do delegate some things to other members of my team. And then I also, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for at least 5 or 6 years in some capacity, really longer if you include like managing my own blog and things like that. So I'm pretty fast at it. It doesn't take me too long to whip something up in Canva or schedule something in Loomly or run a report or something like that. So it really does depend. When you first get started, it's going to take you a lot longer because you're going to be learning the ropes. But now it is pretty it doesn't take me too long. But I will say, honestly, What takes the longest is if you are doing this as a job, like as a business, admin stuff takes way longer for me than actually managing social media. So sending through invoices, pulling reports, prospecting for new clients, sending through proposals, like doing proposal decks and having discovery calls and going to events, like networking events, that stuff honestly takes most of my time. So I do work a lot, but the actual act of social media management doesn't take a ton of time for me. I don't know. So it really varies. How do you get clients to pay 1K plus for social media management? So I think that it's all about value. It's all about how you're presenting value for yourself, I think knowing your worth and explaining that to potential clients, explaining really what you're going to do for them and why you're qualified to help them, obviously. And also, like, it sounds so woo-woo, and I'm really not that kind of person. I'm very tactical, practical advice, but mindset does have something to do with it. So I went a lot of years really undervaluing myself and being like, oh, okay, well, I'll do it for $200. I'll do it for $300. And knowing that I was worth more, but not really feeling like I was worth more. And so you have to believe that you're worth more. And one thing that helps me is just looking up rates for social media management, looking up salaries in my areas and things like that, and realizing, yeah, like the average salary for a social media manager is around $50K. So if this business is going to pay me $1,000 a month times 12, they could either hire somebody for $50,000 or $60,000 a year, or they can pay me $12,000 a year. And it kind of puts things into perspective, like, hold on, they're actually getting a deal. But also I think targeting the right clients is key too. I think a lot of us, I don't know why, but we always like default to, okay, well, I know a lot of other entrepreneurs, I know a lot of other freelancers, so I'm gonna try to manage their social media. And some businesses that makes total sense, and like, I'm not knocking you if that's your target audience, but for me, I realized that wasn't really like my target audience. I really like to target more medium-sized businesses or small established businesses or funded startups is what I work with a lot. Startups that have some money in the bank, that have an allocated marketing budget. So it does require some research to me, but I'm not gonna waste my time pitching to a new, I don't know, like finance blogger or something who has $0 in cash for their business quite yet, versus spending time pitching to a startup that I know just got a new round of funding. So it does require research, and you're gonna have a lot less back and forth if you're targeting the right people. When you're auditing a page, what do you look for? So it depends on what page, of course, but let's just say Instagram. I think most people ask about Instagram and Facebook and things like that. I check for how often they're posting, if they're posting the right kinds of things, if their links are trackable, that all of their page info, like their details, are up to date. So their profile picture, their banner photo, their about section, or their bio if you're on LinkedIn, making sure that their link, the link in their bio or the link in their about page or the Facebook, the Facebook contact button, I think it's called, that all that stuff is working and up to date. But I think mostly it's auditing for content strategy. So like, are you posting at 4 a.m. when nobody's awake and wondering why you're not getting results? Or you're posting once a month and wondering why you're not getting results? All of that kind of stuff. I think most of my audits tend to lean towards content and what they could be doing to improve their content strategy. I'll also often do a competitor analysis when I do a page audit to see what their competitors are doing, what other people in their industry is doing. Not to say that that's what you should be doing. Sometimes it's like, wow, we're killing the game when it comes to this, or this is like definitely what we should not do, because as you can see, they got a lot of bad comments for this post, that kind of thing. But it is just helpful to understand their industry and understand like what others are doing. How do you analyze a fan page? What are the top things to analyze? I think that, I'm sorry if this is the same person and it was two different questions, but I think I kind of answered that. Let me know in the comments if you have more questions on that though. Do you use Facebook Pixel for client work and ads? How do you org? Facebook Business Manager is hard to navigate. Yes, absolutely. I require it pretty much. I mean, if we're going to run ads for you, definitely you need to have the Facebook Pixel installed, and it's really easy to do. I know how to install it myself, but if my client does work with a developer or web team, I like to hand it over to them just so nothing goes weird. So it's really easy to do. You can just go into your business manager, go into, I believe it's called assets, pixels, then it will walk you through step by step how to create one and give you the code, allow you to email it to a developer, all that good stuff. Now, I did also just launch a course on Facebook ads recently, so I'll leave that link down below if you're interested in checking it out, because I do go through pretty much all the key details that you're going to need to know, at least when you're first getting started running ads on Business Manager and Ads Manager. So I'll leave that down below, but I definitely went over like how to install the pixel, where to find the pixel, all that good stuff. But yes, Business Manager is it's annoying. It's like the bane of my existence because they change it every freaking month. I swear it's always different and it gets kind of confusing. But my tip for that is just to get in the habit of running some ads regularly for yourself. I don't rely on ads, like ads are not a main traffic source for me or anything like that. But I do try to make sure that I'm doing an ad every once in a while, just testing it out. If it's not for myself, it's for a client or something like that. Just so I'm in there regularly, testing out the new features, seeing how, Business Manager is moving around and changing and things like that. Because if you leave it for like 6 months, you come back and it's going to look totally different and it's really stressful. What should be included on a social media monthly report for clients? It all comes back to objectives, right? What does your client want to see? I think that's, at the end of the day, what you want to be catering your reports towards. Some of my clients, their main goal is to get followers. Now, that's not my favorite goal. That's not really what I recommend because followers on their own don't really do a lot. But that's a different story for a different time, different rant for a different time. But some of my clients, like, that's success to them. That's what they see as being successful, is building a community, gaining more followers, all that stuff. So you should be having that conversation at the outset of the relationship. What does success look like to you? Is it followers? Is it engagement? Is it more sales? Is it more comments? Is it like more positive comments? Some of my clients, maybe they came off like a PR crisis. They had a faulty product or bad customer service issue or something like that, a complaint about an employee, and they want to make sure that they're getting positive comments about their customer service and positive reviews, things like that. So figure out what their main measurement of success is. Most of them is probably going to be traffic and sales and things like that, and really focus on that. So if their main goal is traffic or sales, you're going to want to track link clicks. You're going to want to track pixel conversions if you're doing ads. You're going to want to track like Google Analytics and see how many people went to add something to their cart, things like that. So, Google Analytics isn't really social media. If I'm doing that, if I'm doing a full digital marketing package for them, I will do Google Analytics as well. But from social, it would be link clicks, it'd be Facebook pixel, things like that. Now, obviously, you're probably going to want to include the other stats too. You're going to want to talk about engagement still because that still matters. You're going to want to talk about follower growth, perhaps. So, but definitely like make the focus aligned to their objectives. Because if you throw a bunch of numbers at people that they don't really understand, I can tell you all day that you got 10 million impressions. To me, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But if they don't really understand what that means, or they can't tangibly like see or understand what that means to them, that's not dollars in their pocket. That's not sales out the door, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And it just kind of starts to get really convoluted and doesn't really matter. So I try to make some things really simple, really clear, and really aligned to their goals. What's the range on how many clients can be handled at one time without any outsourcing? Again, I hate to say this. I really hate it when I have to answer this way, but it depends. It really depends on, again, how fast you are, how skilled you are, how equipped you are to handle all that stuff. I don't know. Again, I could probably take on a little bit more than maybe a beginner just because I am pretty quick. I do kind of have my systems down. That's one of the big things that, a lot of us don't think about before we start. Maybe we had a corporate job as a social media manager. We don't think about how overwhelming and confusing things like doing your taxes and sending invoices and sending welcome packets and sending out reports, like all of that admin type stuff. Again, that takes a lot of time. So I'm pretty used to it and I have like my systems down, but if you don't, it's going to be less. So, again, it's hard for me to say because I do more than social media management. So I really only take on like between 2 to 4 dedicated social media management clients every month, just because I do other things. I take on 2 to 4 coaching clients every month as well. I take on speaking gigs every month. I do YouTube videos every month. I think I have 3 podcast editing clients right now. So like I have a lot of different clients. So 2 social media management clients is more than enough for me, 2 to 4 tops. And even then I still have like an assistant who can help me and other people who can help me if I need to loop them in. So it does depend. It really does depend. It also depends on how much you're charging. If you're charging enough, with 1 or 2 clients, don't overwhelm yourself. But at the same time, I definitely don't recommend putting all your eggs in one basket either. So even if I do have 1 client that's literally paying all of my bills, I'm still gonna have other little clients here and there that I can kind of fall back on as well, just to protect myself, protect my business, and to just have more revenue streams coming in the door. So I know that didn't answer the question, because the answer really is it varies. I apologize. And the last question for today, tips on scheduling, how far out you schedule, and scheduling IG stories. Okay, so how far out I schedule, I generally create content calendars every month. So I'll schedule for a month ahead. If I get really feeling fancy, have a lot of time, I'll do like 2 months ahead, but that's pretty rare. Let's be honest, I'm pretty busy. So it's usually a month ahead. Also during like the holidays, or if I know I'm gonna take a vacation or I'm gonna be traveling or something, I'll do further out in advance so I don't have to worry about it so much. But I use Loomly for my scheduler. I'm gonna leave a link down below if you'd like to sign up. I think you get a free trial if you sign up through my link. So I'll leave that down below. But I really like the way that it's organized. I can build up my content calendar there. I do schedule out a month in advance, but I also still leave room. So it's flexible. Like unless there is a certain holiday or a certain day or a certain sale that a client is running or something like that, I can move things around because things happen. You have to think about that things happen in the world that you need to respond to. New products get released that maybe you weren't aware were gonna happen, that kind of thing. So I do schedule out for the month, but I also keep in mind that like there might be new things coming in and I might need to kind of tweak it a little bit throughout the month. Scheduling IG stories, that is like honestly another bane of my existence. If anybody knows of any great ways to do this, let me know in the comments. My thing is, there are tools and websites out there that can do it. Yes, there are. But the ones that I've seen, maybe you guys can educate me here, the ones that I've seen technically go against Instagram's terms of service. And listen, I am old school, I am nervous, I play by the rules, I don't want to get banned from Instagram. And I definitely don't want my clients' accounts to get banned from Instagram, so I post manually. I know, it's kind of annoying. But what I do is I just add in my calendar, like on my Google Calendar or on my Loomly account, I'll add kind of a marker that gives me an alert and lets me know that I need to post a story at a certain time. And honestly, it takes me, 5 minutes or something. So I just try to, like I said, number one, I don't take a ton of clients. I don't take 20 social media management clients every month. I mean, let's be honest, sometimes it's more than 4, but generally speaking, I try to keep it 4 or under. So at the maximum, my day is going to only be interrupted 4 times. Again, I can also delegate to my team if I need to. And I'm usually not posting a story every single day, depending. It just depends. But anyway, I try to just do it during business hours for myself. So I'm not scheduling a story at 9 p.m. when I'm trying to hang out with my friends, whatever. I mean, it's a little bit annoying, but just adding in those little markers really helps me on Google Calendar. But yeah, let me know, you guys. Maybe there's a tool out there that I don't know about that does schedule stories that is aligned with Instagram's terms of service, but that's kind of my solution for now. It's not perfect, I know. And with that said, I think that is it for today's video. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to my channel. I post videos about freelancing and entrepreneurship and social media every single week, so definitely subscribe down there. Click the bell button if you want to be notified when I upload, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of these answers. If you have any tips, any responses to any of the questions, I'd love to hear your input as well. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!